very agile and nimble style. It enables a man to climb like a lizard.
YouTube, this is the Hard Bastard, and look down on the bottom of the screen, it's almost 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I was in the midst of, I guess you could say, a personal day. I was, we have a lot of shit going on with the website, and so I didn't really release any videos today. So I was on the couch, just doing some fun shit, and I come across a tweet by H.A. Goodman that stated that the Young Turks dissed him and that he had a response for Jordan Chariton. Now, the reason that I've decided to stop doing the fun shit that I was doing and getting off the couch and fucking making a video at 2 o'clock in the morning is due to the fact that the person from the Young Turks that talked about H.A. Goodman was Jordan Chariton, who I have many times to my audience labeled a credible journalist. Now, in my book, once you lie, you're finished. That's it. And, well, apparently what we have here, I'm not going to play H.A. Goodman's video. You can watch it on your own. He can defend himself, and he doesn't need anyone to defend himself. But what we are going to cover is this video that Jordan made. Now, H.A. Goodman is claiming it's at the behest of Cenk Uygur. I tend to agree with him because Cenk Uygur is a pussy. But there's some things that we have to clarify here. First of all, there apparently among the left is this debate over what is a progressive. I don't give a fuck what a progressive is. I'm not a fucking progressive. Frankly, I'm in the midst of a bit of a metamorphosis politically because the left went crazy and I'm kind of still figuring out my bearings. So I might even be a goddamn libertarian at this point. But a fucking progressive, I do not give a fuck what your goddamn labels are. So it seems like one of the things in this battle, I guess, on the left is that people are using this fallacy of you're not progressive enough or claiming this person is not progressive. It's also being used, as you'll see in this video, as like a fake litmus test, like claiming that people like H.A. Goodman are using this as a litmus test when in fact they're not. They're simply calling out lying. Here is the thing. Regardless of what side are you on, H.A. Goodman is one of the most credible journalists I have come across. He is a progressive. He is to the left of me. However, if you go to his channel, all he does is basically cover similar shit that I do in regards to how the deep state, or whatever you want to call it, lies about Donald Trump's bullshit with Russia. He was probably the premier motherfucker to go to during the election when it came to Hillary Clinton and WikiLeaks. Now, what's fascinating about this is so was Jordan Chariton. But the reason that it's necessary to go over this video at 2 o'clock in the morning is because I have told my audience that I think that Jordan Chariton is credible. And we're going to go over this video because I think his credibility is, at the very least, needs to be questioned. I'll just put it like that until we watch this video. Now, the first 8 minutes of this video, and see, I wonder how to go about this because on the one hand, I do think Jordan is generally an honest dude, but clearly he has a conflict of interest because he's working for a liar. Cenk Uygur is a fucking liar. I have demonstrated that on this channel. People, or when you hear the Young Turks try to defend themselves, they're like, oh, well, people take us out of context. Did you see why I go over entire fucking videos? Because I know people are going to say that, and what I can easily do is say, I cover the whole fucking video. So I would like you, if you are one of these people, to point out, where have I been incorrect? Give me the timestamp and the video, and I will absolutely fucking address it. But the problem with the Young Turks has been not that, oh, they're not progressive enough, because I don't give a fuck if they're progressive. I give a fuck about the fact that they are liars. They lie a lot. And like I said, you can just go through my videos. There's plenty of examples. H.A. Goodman, because this isn't an issue of right versus left, because I'm to the right of H.A. Goodman. I have not seen H.A. Goodman lie one fucking time. And if you have an example of it, I would love to see it. He is credible, and he is to the left of me, so this isn't like, oh, I'm just picking on the Young Turks because I'm right-wing. The other thing, as you know, is they paint anyone who disses the Young Turks as alt-right. But this is one of the few times where someone from the Young Turks is going or calling out. Frankly, this is not even calling out. This is a outright slander of H.A. Goodman. And, well, let's just begin here.
So, obviously, TYT was kind of Bernie headquarters, if you want to say. During the primary, we didn't pretend not to be for Bernie. And after the primary, obviously, the tone of the show changed a little bit. Cenk Uygur did not change. The show did not change. The circumstances changed. And obviously, they did a lot of Donald Trump. Obviously, they did a little bit less in terms of Hillary Clinton. And a lot of viewers didn't like that. And I was open that I thought they were doing too much Trump.
So what we had, like I said, in the beginning of the video, and I skipped over it, because he basically gave his, like, kind of history, working history, how he met Cenk Uygur, blah, blah, blah. What is, without question here, is Jordan Chariton has a loyalty to Cenk Uygur. Now, before this video, I would always say, I don't know how Jordan works at the Young Turks, because Jordan, up until this video, I was not aware of him lying. He was a credible reporter, and they have one other credible reporter, and that's Michael Tracy. And I would wonder, you know, how does he do this? Well, now you have both things coming to a head. Jordan has to make a decision here. Does he defend the indefensible see, like, I don't give a fuck if you work for Cenk Uygur, as long as because it seems like Cenk allows his reporters, and Michael Tracy even said this, to say what they want. And you know what? That's commendable, and that's great. But now you're in a situation where you're being called upon to defend liars. So are you going to maintain your credibility, or are you going to lie? Are you going to become one of the liars? Let's see.
And Cenk never said a word to me about it. And nobody there said a word about it to me. Because that's what being a progressive is supposed to mean. Being progressive is supposed to mean progress, not censorship. Not if you disagree, you're a sellout.
Now, I want to give you some backstory here. There was a video that I did the other day where I covered how the Young Turks, I said 2 out of the 3 were defending what I viewed as the indefensible corruption of the DNC. And they were talking about the lawsuit. Michael Schur and some other motherfucker were defending what I think is indefensible. Defending corruption, in my book, makes you a piece of shit, and I don't view you as credible. Okay? H.A. Goodman is a lot more forgiving of people than I am, but that's okay. He can be. Everyone has their own prerogative. John Adiarola, kind of, I mean, he played the fence, but he, at least for the Young Turks, kind of brought up the fact that what the DNC lawyer was arguing was wrong. He still made some pretty fucking ridiculous arguments, particularly donations are donations, but whatever. I at least gave him that credit. H.A. Goodman was not, in that case, as forgiving as I was of John Adiarola, but frankly, I have this real sick fucking, like, thing inside me that kind of, I don't know, I have this hope, I don't know why, that John Adiarola is going to snap out of this fucking bullshit and, like, become a real, actual, honest fucking reporter. There's just something that I see in him. I think it's almost like at the end of Return of the Jedi, like, you know, like Luke Skywalker kind of saw the good in Darth Vader. I just feel like Adiarola, maybe it's because he's young, that, like, you can kind of see his, like, the truth kind of peek out of him once in a while. But anyway, that's beside the point. What I would have thought, or at least would have not been so outraged if Adiarola here was doing Cenk Uygur's dirty work. But Cenk Uygur took his most credible, well, maybe not his most credible, Michael Tracy's his most credible, but his other